Hi, just going to say a couple of things about the annotated bibliography assessment, which is due on the 15th of October. That's Monday, 15th of October. So it's not long as far as words that you have to write go, between 800 to 1,000 words, give or take the 10% rule. So the main thing is working out what a annotated bibliography is, which I'll talk about in a sec. But what you have to do, just the nuts and bolts of it, is you have to take that Stephen Teo article, which is the Stephen Teo's introduction to his book, the book that we've been sort of looking at across the course, and uh, his quote is just what exactly is Asian cinema and what is its significance as a name that has come into popular usage in film and cultural studies. So, what exactly do we mean by this term, Asian cinema? And how can we define that term? So, what I'm asking you to do is to get 5 to 8. I mean, they can be a few more if you want, but around 5 to 8. And what you need to do is you need to address that quote, what exactly is Asian cinema, and its name, based on a theme or topic or person or film from the course, right? So it could be, okay, I'm going to look at the idea of food, right? Because a lot of these courses have been looking at food and food being part of some sort of Asian experience, right? So you're going to look at, say, you might look at a variety of films and the theme is food. So what you want to do is look at articles which are actually discussing the very idea of food. Now, the article, it's not like the whole article has to be on your topic. There might be a section in the article or a paragraph in the article which talks to what you're actually looking at. And that's absolutely fine as well. Now, what an annotated bibliography is, as I've written here, is a list of selected literature with critical comments relate to a research topic. It can include books, scholarly articles, other published material. Like if there was like a video essay or something, you could include that. If there was, I don't know, a lecture I had done that you wanted to include, you could do that. I suppose the real question is, how many articles can I pick from the course? How many not from the course? I mean, I would say only half from the course. I mean, if you want to get the highest of distinctions for this assessment, it's really going to be the people who go outside of what's the expectations and really engage with a series of material that isn't just in the course syllabus, right? So what you need to do for each of your annotations is you need to write 150 words. And what we don't want is just you take like 6 articles and you give 150 word summaries for each one, right? The very idea is you're looking at a particular theme or star or something that connects all of those articles together, right? Now, like I said, it might only be one section from a chapter, another article, it might be the whole thing, but it's talking specifically about what interests you, right? So what's the theme that you're talking about? What's the topic that you're talking about? You may choose to write on a director or something like that, which is absolutely fine as well. Okay, so what is an annotated bibliography? Now, there's a whole document that I've put under the assessment tab for this assessment, for the annotated bibliographies assessment, which goes through what an annotated bibliography is, right? And you really need to read that article. I'm not going to sort of read it to you here. It's a good article, which kind of just very basically sets up what an annotated bibliography does. Basically, it has 2 main sections. It has the reference details, so the bibliographic information, and a description and comments on the material. I will put up a link on on the assessment tab on the referencing format, which we're expecting. But apart from the referencing details, you have to include a description and comments on the material. So that's your annotation, right? You're annotating the material. So a critical annotation contains a summary of the content of each item in the bibliography. This should focus on the value of the material for the research topic in relation to. So its aims, how it adds to the research in the field, its place in and relationship to the wider field of research, the intended audience. You don't necessarily have to go into great detail with the intended audience. The strengths and weaknesses of the source for your research purpose, if it's original, important, and of high standard, if the findings are sound, logical, and well researched. So it's really, what do you think of the article? How does the article speak to the theme that you're looking at? Now, say you are looking at the idea of food, and there's one section in the article on food. Now, you can't necessarily criticize the article for only having one section, because the article might not be that interested in food. It just might have one really good section on food. So, give some appreciation to the article that you're discussing, and you might want to talk about the limitations for the article and the strengths of the article. So that's really what we're wanting. We're wanting you to engage with the article and be able to place that article within the wider field of discussion of things that we've been discussing across the lectures, in the classes, in the course more generally, and certainly in the readings. If you haven't been doing the readings for each week, now would be a good time to go and start doing those readings, because there is some great things in a number of those readings, which is really important for you to be discussing. All right, just finally, so this is the rubric, which is again on Canvas, and just make sure you're dealing with all of this, okay? So the strengths of the introduction to establish the aims of the bibliography. This is really important. You need to write an introduction to your annotated bibliography, just setting up what your theme is, what you're looking at, what you're exploring, and the importance of that, right? Giving your annotated bibliography a title, like the assessment, a title could also be, a good way of kind of setting up thematically what you're looking at. How well does each article that you're writing on clearly identify its subject and topic? Think about that. Its place and relationship to the wider field of research, and that's really important as well, that you're able to situate the article within the wider field of research. Ability to not summarize, but talk in detail about particular aspects of each annotation. Okay, we don't want a summary of each article. We want a broader engagement with it. So I don't want this article deals with this. I want this particular section of this article is talking about this idea. And if you're going to use a quote, I want you to talk to the quote. Don't just pull a quote from the article thinking that's going to do the work. Okay? I want you to really be paraphrasing the article and really be engaging and thinking about each article that you're using. You only have to do minimum of 5. Okay, so it's not extensive, but for each article, you really have to think about that. Like I said, I'll put up some details about the Harvard Bibliography referencing system, which is the one that you need to follow. Evident engagement and participation with Asian cinemas. Okay, so clearly, we want you to be situating the articles within the broader ideas of the course and the broader ideas of, what we think of what Stephen Teo calls the Asian experience, and also, what is Asian cinemas, and the structure and ability to express your ideas. Okay, so I'll leave it there. I'll put some other things up under the assessment, and if you've got more questions, let me know what they are, and I'm happy to address those in a similar kind of video kind of thing. All right, good luck with it. Have some fun with it. That's the main thing, that you really engage with it, you really have some fun with it, and you really explore what you can do with all of these articles and things like that. And I really look forward to seeing what you find. And like I said, it can be book chapters, refereed articles, it can be video, essays if you want, there can be a whole range of things. All right, leave it there. Speak to you soon. Bye for now.